But yeah, that's not possible because Allah said Muhammad was the last, the seal of the prophets. I'm really very happy to be tonight here, celebrating with you guys this journey. That's a very long journey indeed, as many of the previous speakers already mentioned. I would like to concur or go with the MC's early comment, which he started the gathering here with the speech. He said, since we have colleagues and friends who don't speak neither Mai or nor Maha, she said, well, maybe we use English as a medium of that we can all maybe communicate. So that's very nice of you. So I appreciate, and that's why I'm also, although I can speak both Mai and Maha, maybe for the benefit of our friends and colleagues, I also will speak English. For my speakers in any table here, and two Maha speakers in the table, what happens is usually the medium of communication will change into Maha, although the majority of the table is my speakers. Some people interpreted this as inferiority. The Mais are inferior because these two guys, we have to respect them because their language is superior. To me, I think it's different. The Mai speakers, from the side of humility and humbleness, we are very humble people, so we have to at least help these other two guys who are with us. It's not an inferiority, but it's humbleness and humility. So humility is a sign, it's not being arrogant and proud. Secondly, we have to honor and respect, minority issues. So if these people are here, then we spoke all our languages. And they will be considered as minority in that table, right? So we are also honoring the rights of minorities. I'm sure, do you have the PowerPoint here? Somebody has it? It's behind me? Okay. All right. Before I talk about my topic, I would like also to share with you some anecdotes. My first day of schooling, it was a village called Korkor in Bakor region of Somalia. My teacher was a teacher who doesn't know Mai. He speaks Maha. And the whole village, including myself, I was very young, 6 years old. We all speak Mai. Our teacher speaks Maha. So the challenge was how we can communicate, or how he can communicate with his students. This was during the office administration. The medium of instruction was Italian and some Arabic. So when it comes to Arabic and Italian, we are all on the same page. But when it comes to the language, the Somali language, we're different. So the first day of schooling those days, it's called Il primo giorno della scuola. We have to make registration. The teacher has to register his students. So we, these young people who are 6, 7, 8 years old, he is asking us, Mahati, the opposite, what happened? It switched. Something happened. This column should be Maha, this should be Mahati. Is that right? Okay. So he will ask us, Maga'a. Never heard of it. 6, 7 years old in Korkor, doesn't understand Maga'a. Already Dr. Tani, the medical doctor, also he had that challenges in wages, right? We had same challenge. We were lucky that in the village there was a Yemeni who had a shop, and one of our uncles who served the Italian soldiers who at least can understand some Italian and some Maha language. So we seek the help of them. Because Maga'a, kind of like Maila Ke'ere. Maila Ke'ere, ama Magaga, Maila Ere. That is the one that we can understand. The second thing he will ask us is Baha. Never heard of it. Baha, which will be translated into Auka. It's different. The most difficult one was the third one. When the teacher is asking a young 6 years old Habarta, because in my Habarta is your wife. So how the teacher thought that 6 years old will have a wife. So the translators, of course, were very helpful and resourceful for us. If you move to the second slide, where I learned lately after that, because those days I only knew Mai, I didn't know Maha. Lately I learned Maha as well, and Italian as well, and Arabic as well, English, of course, my latest language. So I found out that in Somalia, there are two major majority of Somalis speak. From central region to the northeast, Maha is dominant. Okay? When you go from southern of the central region, Mai is dominant. But, of course, there are some other languages that we already heard from our previous speakers, which I don't want to spend time. But Baha, never heard of it. Baha, which will be translated into Auka. It's different. The most difficult one was the third one. When the teacher is asking a young 6 years old Habarta, because in my Habarta is your wife. So how the teacher thought that 6 years old will have a wife. So the translators, of course, were very helpful and resourceful for us. If you move to the second slide, where I learned lately after that, because those days I only knew Mai, I didn't know Maha. Lately I learned Maha as well, and Italian as well, and Arabic as well, and English, of course, my latest language. So I found out that in Somalia, there are two major majority of Somalis speak. From central region to the northeast, Maha is dominant. Okay? When you go from southern of the central region, Mai is dominant. But, of course, there are some other languages that we already heard from our previous speakers, which I don't want to spend time. But these other languages, why I put bold Mai and Maha, they are lingua franca for some other dialects. You know, the Varre speaker, the Tuli speaker, they can hear and understand Mai. So therefore, Maha and Maha also, they have some variations in Maha also, some in their northern and northeastern regions. So let's see the journey that my brother Wazir and Safir Maxamed Xaaji already talked about. There's a journey here. It's a journey. Can we see the second slide? Brother Muhammad also mentioned the journey of my script or my writing goes back to the 13th century. A teacher, Ma'allim Duksi, who is also a sheikh, who is also a saint, who is known as Ayoow Yusuf. This is 13th century Ma'allim. Ayoow Yusuf, when he was teaching Duksi students, he found out that these kids, like our ambassador said, when they're that age, they can easily learn in the mother tongue rather than other language. So Arabic is another language. So it would have been better maybe if we find some way that we can teach this young man and women at this age in their own mother tongue. So what he did, he developed a system, a curricular system. He revolutionized the system of learning the Quran, okay? He introduced how we can really the Arabic vowel sounds and convert into my vowel sounds. His challenge was, Arabic vowel sounds are very limited, okay? They have 3 short vowels, Fatha, Kasra, Dhamma, and 3 long vowels, Alif, Ya, and Waw, which are A, I, U. But in the Mai, there are more than those sounds. There are E, there are O. It's not in Arabic. So he thought, how I can really help these people to figure out, to tackle this issue. There's something called in learning language, something called transliteration. You know, you try to, like we did in the Latin, the Somali Latin alphabet, it is not a Latin, although the letters are Latin, but we found some Latin letters to be used for Maha language, like we just say, let's put a C, okay? That is a very, very, very revolutionary way to transliterate the sounds that the Europeans don't have, but we have, Ha, and Ha, okay? So, Ayoow Barakatullah Yusuf, he did the same thing to figuring out here what is known in the history of Somali education, something called Elif Maay. Elif Maay, you can see Fatha is an inclined line on the top of a letter. Dhamma is a comma on the top of a letter. Kasra is another line on the bottom of the letter. So this is called Elif Maay. When kids are learning in their elementary, primary education, they really need something that they can chant. Like for instance, in English, we chant A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Here we say, we can sing off, okay? Fatha, Kasra, Dhamma, and then he found out some other translation in when Tanween al-Harf is called Munqalib al-Ra, Tanween al-Dhamma, Tanween al-Kasra.